life and no TV. Millionaires stay greedy. No love and there's no grub. We got the homeless saying, y'all better come my way. Y'all better come my way. Okay, and say, y'all better come my way.
And welcome back to Jam-Packed. Now, folks, I have a very special treat for y'all. She is a multimedia journalist, on-air host, producer. She has become synonymous with women's basketball as a producer, a co-host, and one of the two voices on the espnW's Around the Rim podcast, alongside the host and acclaimed women's basketball analyst, LaChina Robinson, as they cover the hottest topics in women's basketball and more. She also produces on shows from Fantasy Focus Football Show to helping with shows like Bomani Jones. She's a writer for the Undefeated with such featured work like Atlanta Dream center Imani Boyette, Mental Illness Taboo. A South Carolina invite to the White House could only help trump a blueprint to bracketology. Instead of vilifying Boosie's actions, we need to put them into a broader context. Listen, those titles alone are fire. Writer, she's also a writer for ESPNW with such featured work like Steph Curry breaking barriers to achieve gender equity in sports. She's also featured, she also has featured work in the New York Times with pieces like WNBA Preview, the Seattle Storm are ready to run the West, as well as WNBA Preview with Sabrina Ionescu. Worked on that one. The Liberty Hit Refresh, Kennedy Hollywood, Carter Shines Bright When the Lights Are On. And she is also the host of Tea Take Two, available on YouTube. She has produced some of the most well-known personalities in sports, including Jamel Hill, Michael Smith, Mina Kimes, Carrie Champion, Sarah Spain, Matthew Berry, Field Yates, Adam Schefter, and more. And she has sat down with Hall of Famers like Eric Dickerson, Cheryl Swoops, and Rebecca Lobo. Additionally, she's also interviewed for radio hip-hop legend Ice Cube, actor Omar Epps, power star Omari Hardwick, comedian Mike Epps, and others. Folks, if you're not chomping at the bits right now to figure out who it is, she's covered for audio and print the 2015 AAC Men's Basketball Conference Championships, the 2008 NBA All-Star Game in Los Angeles, the 2018 and 2019 NCAA Women's Final Four in Columbus, as well as Tampa, and the 2018 NBA Draft in Brooklyn, to name a few. She's also designed various images and digital graphics that were displayed on ESPN linear networks and the ESPNW, ESPN Radio, and ESPN podcast social media. Past works also include being a contributor to Yahoo Sports before taking a position with ESPN Radio. She was a host on a Friday night sports talk show on the online-based Sports Fam radio network, hence the Gridiron Girl, was born in February 2013, if you want to get specific with it. She is a self-made, self-driven, self-motivated, but most of all, selfless. She covers the game to tell the stories of others, while the WNBA and the NCAA women's basketball are her passions. She's covered NBA, NFL, and NCAA Division I men's basketball. Folks, she hails from the D, Detroit, if you're not with it. Joining us from Connecticut, I'm going to say it in my best basketball announcer voice. Folks, I bring to y'all Terrika Foster-Brasby. Woo!
I just got excited. Like, whose bio is that? She's awesome.
Listen, you out here just annihilating, assassinating, just doing the damn thing.
Wow.
You just out here killing it.
That's awesome. Yep, thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so happy you're here. This is crazy. Now, for folks that are like, how the fuck did Jamila get this kind of amazing situation? I blame Clubhouse. Clubhouse is to blame. How have you, what is your take on Clubhouse? Let's start there.
Like, I'm trying to figure it out, but I got it because it's not like it's a lot to figure out. It's just, I'm one of those people who don't really talk on the phone, right? I'm like, can you text me? Can you email me? So now you're asking me to be in an app where it's like strictly audio. I'm like, bro, this is not going to work. I don't want to talk to these people. Like,
exactly.
I just want to listen. I don't want to talk. But the few rooms that I have been in and I've listened and the conversation is really good. People are dropping really good information, networking. I find myself from time to time saying, let me get on stage.
Yes.
So it works. I like it. I'm here for it.
Yeah. Like Clubhouse has been cool, but I'm like, I don't like being on the phone. I barely like the phone. I didn't like the phone as an intern. I certainly don't like it as an adult. Don't ever call my office. Just text me. Like you'll get a quicker response with text. I don't know what it is, but I just, it's just like, we could have just handled this via text.
Right.
But yeah, but I like Clubhouse until it's like, do you want to come on the stage? And it's like, I just wanted to listen. I just want to listen.
I want to soak up all the info. I just want to listen. That's it. Yeah, that's totally me. I talked on the phone so much as a kid, like sneaking on the phone because mom's like, it's 10 o'clock. You're 9. What are you doing? So
exactly.
I did so much phone as a kid and a teenager that as an adult, I'm just like, nah, unless you're dying, don't call me.
Man, that is rough. Yeah, that's so real though. Cause I'm like, listen, is everything okay? Everything's cool? Okay.
That's the first thing you ask, right? Yeah. It's like, you straight? You good? Oh, okay. Okay, what do you want?
My family now thank goodness for them, I got married so they can just hit her up because she doesn't mind answering her phone for the most part. As long as you're one of her contacts, she'll answer the phone. But I'm just like, call her, like forget that. Like just please don't call me because it's gonna take me a minute to get back. I'm not even gonna lie. Just
my bad. I'm so bad, Jamila. I'm so bad that this confession is gonna hit me hard. Somebody's gonna watch this and be like, for real, Terrika, for real? This is what's gonna happen. I'm the one that will watch you call me and respond right back with a text like, oh, what's up, you call?
Hey, but wait, this is we don't answer anonymous because low-key I'll do the same shit.
Like, no, you call me. Like, you just saw me call you. It's like
exactly. Oh man, that's real though. Like, did you see the what was it? I think the Shade Room had reposted like this video this comedian had done of like what people probably look like when they're on Clubhouse.
Oh yes, I yes.
And so and she got the whole cord from the earpod just
crazy.
laid out on the couch trying to be all philosophical and shit.
I went all of us about her scuba diving adventures.
Yes.
Crazy.
Oh man, I love it. Oh God, before I just get carried away and have amazing conversation, I'm already having okay, Jamila, center yourself. We have a good conversation. You only got a certain amount of time. So before I just get completely carried away, a little order of business. So your drink of choice was Remy Martin, some Remy Martin. Yes. So I have gotten some VSOP and put it in a glass with some Coca-Cola.
Nice. I'm on
straight up.
I'm on the rocks kind of check.
Yes, cheers. Hey, that's that bartender in you. That's that turn up bartender Leo life, right?
It is. This is after a while, you just gotta go. You just gotta go for it.
Mm-hmm. But the crazy thing is, I normally would probably put that on ice, but I feel it's like 4 o'clock in the 4 o'clock hour over here. So I'm like still trying to be cute about it.
Gotcha.
It's
I respect it. It's most definitely like 7-ish after 7 here. I've already worked an entire full day. So as far as I'm concerned, this is overdue.
Yes. Oh man. Listen, I feel like mine is a little overdue too, but I'm gonna get to that a little later. But there's so much I want to get to with you, and so much going on as in the last 24 hours alone. Craziness. But so the games that we're gonna play today are in the interrogation, dun dun dun, and then we are going to do keywords throughout the entire episode, or until we just forget. So we're gonna keep each other accountable. So anytime we use the words women, women's basketball, WNBA, or ESPN, we both got to take a drink.
I am in so much trouble right now. This is so bad.
Well, we gonna try to keep it jam-packed friendly. But within it's the interrogation, so you can always ask for your attorney. So that's always the fun part.
I will try to put the Webster's dictionary to use, maybe use some alternative words.
I like it.
We'll work it out.
Yes. Too bad we're not playing story time. We'd really flex that dictionary muscle right there.
Really.
Oh man. Okay. Listen, I'm already putting in my bid for part 2 right now. We'll see how we'll see how you feel after this. So we'll just go straight into it in the interrogation. Dun dun dun. So I'm going to ask you a question. These are basically spitfire questions, but if you don't want to answer the question or feel like you cannot answer the question, whether it be for journalistic integrity or for really just maybe there's a connection, I don't know. But I don't want to give away too much on the interrogation questions. But anytime you don't feel comfortable to answer a question or don't want to answer the question, then you would ask for your attorney and you got to take a drink.
Okay.
All right. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Question number 1. Okay. If Cheryl Swoops, Lisa Leslie, and Rebecca Lobo were on an island, who would you save? Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, man. Okay. Let's think about this here. So I work with Rebecca. So
you do. This is why she's in the mix.
So if I don't save Rebecca, she might be like, really, Terrika, you're not going to save me? Okay. And gosh, okay. I might have to save Rebecca just because she has my number. I don't want her to call me. Sorry, Cheryl. Sorry.
Well, because Cheryl's been on the show before, hasn't she? On the.
Yes, she has. Lisa's been on our show a couple, and I'm just like.
Hey, listen. She had to answer. She had to make a decision.
I did.
She still loves y'all, though.
I do.
Listen, I'll drink on that for you. I'll drink on that. Listen, I was feeling a little verklempt over here. Just I was like, who's she gonna pick? Oh man, that's a tough one. Okay. Next question. Who do you save between Candace Parker, DT3? For y'all that don't know who DT3 is, first of all, shake yourself. That is Diana Taurasi or Sue Bird.
I need to
smart answer. Y'all, she took a drink. She took the drink. Listen, smart woman
for me. No way.
Smart woman.
No.
Oh man, I love Misa. Listen, I love all 3 of them. I don't even know who I would save. I would be like, listen, can y'all all just lock arms and then just get a raft boat and just, can we just all hug each other and then just make our way? Just.
And then realistically, like, isn't even worth it anymore if one of them isn't around. You're just like, you know what, this isn't even worth it anymore. We all
you're like, I don't even want to play anymore. This is not fun
anymore. Like, exactly. No. I will not choose on that one.
Okay. All right. Next question. You've worked with and produced some of the most well-known personalities. Okay. Who was the most challenging to work with?
Wow. Okay. The most challenging. Ooh, this is hard. This is genuinely a hard question because none of them have ever really been challenging. Like, I don't know. I like to think that it's me. I don't know. I'm probably making this up, but I'm going to say that it's because it's me that they're like, you know what? We're not going to give her a hard time. So I think, gosh, that's a tough one. Who's the hardest? The most challenging? The most challenging. Probably. God, this is really hard. I have no idea.
I don't know. Well, you know, the crazy thing that inspired that was because I've never heard any ill about any of those people that I named off. And so I was like, well, this would be interesting for interrogation to, like, if there's anyone, especially as a producer, like you're having to deal with these people.
Okay. There's just like, so when I was working with Jamel and Michael, they were hilarious. Like all we did was laugh. They were hilarious. Carrie's such a diva, and that's what you love about her because she's freaking awesome, right?
Yeah.
Matthew and Phil, they're the same way. When I was working with them, they're just like, they pretty much handle their own thing. I was just like, I'm over here running the board. Y'all don't need me. You know what I mean? So there's that. God, it's so hard. Okay, so maybe the most challenging, maybe Adam Schefter. And for a good reason, because you know what? I'm lying. The most challenging is my current host, LaChina. And that's the most challenging, but it's the most challenging for a good reason. She is a perfectionist, right? And it's like the smallest thing. You'd be like, no one's gonna pay attention to that. And she's like, oh no, we're gonna fix it. And you have to love it because that's the type of person that challenges you to be better. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, and so when I go into stuff, I already know because we've worked together so long now and we know each other's habits that we're like, that I instantly am like, nope, I'm not gonna do that because if I do that, LaChina's gonna say blah, 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 or we're not gonna do that because LaChina knows blah, 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 blah. And she's the same way. She's like, no, we're not gonna do that because T not gonna yell at me for not saying like, but it's challenging, but it's challenging in a good way. It's the kind of challenge I think everybody in any industry should want or should need, because I mean, iron sharpens iron, right? So if you're not working with someone that's going to challenge you and make you a better person, then what are you doing?
No, that's facts. That's 100% facts. But I love that y'all like low key like tease each other and then like riff. Like you're like, oh, she's too busy for us. You know, like you know, oh, she's busy you know, maybe she'll join us. You know, but I love that it's an ongoing insider thing because even when you have guests on and they're like, well, we could only come on when LaChina wasn't gonna be on, so we here. You know, I love that though, you know, and LaChina has such an infectious voice. You know what I'm saying? But it's the perfect basketball voice, you know. Ah, you got me. Listen, I was in the zone. I didn't even do it on purpose. I didn't even do it. But I appreciate the accountability.
Yes.
Keeping one another accountable.
Because I'm going to slip up in like 2.2 seconds and I know it, right? I know it.
Yeah, listen, I'm surprised I held on that long, to be honest.
No, actually, but like you said though, and I'll just leave it at that, but just like LaChina's awesome. I tell anybody everywhere, I would not be here, especially in this space, if not for her rapport with people around the league, just the way that she carries herself, the respect that she has, her knowledge base. I mean, there's nothing that it feels like she doesn't know. And she just pours all of that into me and into everyone who works with her and knows her. So it is beyond an honor to work with her and to consider her. She's not just my host, like she's my friend, that's my sister. I love her, I ride for her. And that's just the bottom line. Y'all come, you come for LaChina, you come for me.
You come for the crew. You come for one. You gotta do with us all.
You gotta do with all us, yo.
Yeah. But I love that though, because you were the one that went to your bosses and said, "Listen, this area, because I can't say the word.
Say the word, yes.
Are underrepresented and undervalued."
Yes. And little did I know that she was at the same time doing the same thing to people in her circle to say, hey, we're missing something here. We've got all these podcasts. We don't have one for this sport. We don't have one to represent this. So it was basically a match made in heaven, honestly, because here we are both fighting for the same thing and never knew each other existed. So it's just awesome. It's amazing.
That's so dope. And it was a universal alignment. It was meant to be, honestly. That's so freaking dope. But I mean, like, that's your baby, and it's been y'all's concept, and y'all don't get a whole lot of support from marketing, promotions, all that good stuff. But like, why do you think that it's so underrepresented, especially in mainstream media?
I think it's for several reasons. Oh God, several reasons, right? Do we have enough time?
I know, right?
It's several reasons, right? I think, I'll speak for me. Number one, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, the WNBA is a league full of Black women, right? Okay, drink to that. League full of Black women. And we know how this country is when it comes to supporting Black women, right? So then outside of that alone being women, we know how it is when it comes to supporting women, right? So now let's add to the fact that there's also a huge LGBTQ community within the sport. So there are three minorities that are stacked against these ladies, to the point where we're not even talking about how you ball anymore. We're not even talking about, how you perform on the court. We're not talking about what you do in the community. Those three items alone are enough for us to be like, nah, we straight on y'all. You know what I mean? And it's totally unfair because as we can see what just happened in the state of Georgia, that doesn't happen without these women. You know what I mean? That doesn't happen without their influence. They're so amazing with what they do. And I think that's one of the major issues that this league faces. It's just that, they're triple minorities, some of them, and it's just, they're not going to support that. But in spite of, they still find the fan bases who are extremely loyal. And that's what's so amazing, is the fan bases are extremely loyal. Like, people who love women's basketball, and they will come for you.
Yes.
They will come for you. Like, so, and that was the thing when we started this podcast, it was regardless of the fact that we're not getting the TV time or that this sport doesn't get the acknowledgement that we feel that it deserves, there's still an audience out there that wants it and that craves it. And we should respect them enough, as well as respect these players enough to give it to them. And that was in 2016. So here it is, 2021. And we're growing. The podcast is growing. The fan base is growing. It feels great to go into a stadium and have someone say, "Oh my God, you're T." And I'm just like, yeah, how do you know me? Am I wearing a badge? How do you know?
Hi, my name is.
How do you know it's me? And they're like, "Oh, I listen to the podcast. I love Around the Rim." And I'm like, "Oh, awesome. Well, then in that case, I love you. Who are you?" So that's just the amazing part of it.
It's so interesting because by doing this podcast, I'm discovering these things and I'm like, damn, I wish that was around when I was younger, or like heavily into this or heavily into that, and back in the day, I used to have them Twitter fingers and would talk shit to anybody that talked shit about the WNBA.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drink to that. But
Okay,
but like I was so strong with it, but it felt like there was no source, there was no resource, there was such this disconnect, and just folks that and I feel like that was when, listen, I haven't been on Twitter in a cool minute, even though my stuff goes to Twitter, but back then it felt like a lot of the players were very active on Twitter. I don't know if they're still as active, just because everybody screenshotting tweets and this and that, and it's like you can't really be authentically, yourself and give your opinion and all that good stuff. But I would always wonder, what is the problem? Why is there such a disconnect? And why are such great athletes not being supported the way that they need to be supported, with the pay? They have to go. It almost feels like moonlighting, because in the summer they have to go, or not summer, but in the off season, they have to go out of the country and go play to like supplement their income, like to make it work.
Which completely, adds to the notion that they're extraordinary athletes, because they don't get to take a 3 or 4 month break, if they want to continue to line their wallets. For the most part, a lot of players will play in the summer, and then once that's done, they will go to Turkey, or they will go to Italy, or they will go, wherever, and they'll play over there. And then they'll come back here, maybe a couple months rest, and then they're gearing right back up for the season. And that's the constant grind that they're in or out. Let's not even talking about the emotional aspect of going overseas to play. Like sometimes they're alone. They don't always have a teammate or a friend or a familiar face there. So they're alone. There's a language barrier in some instances. There's a food barrier. You may be, trying something that you're not accustomed to. There's just so much that goes into it that the male counterpart doesn't really have to deal with. And so it's just like, but that's the $1 million question. Like, what is the real reason? At one point they were saying, hey, you girls don't dunk. Well, tell Fran Believe out and Stanford that girls don't dunk. You know what I mean? Like
ask Brittany Griner about dunking, because she will dunk on that ass all day long.
Right. Ask Candace Parker who don't dunk. Like, get out of here.
Yeah, so exactly.
All of these, and in my personal opinion, if that's what make you like this sport, then you don't really like the sport. You just like to see people dunk. Like that's just it. So it's just a bunch of crap, and it's crazy, but I don't think that there ever really is or will be an answer as to why. I just think in order to move forward, we just have to continue doing what we've been doing, which is to continue to put these ladies on display, continue to show, that they're amazing athletes. They are on Twitter, and they are amazing on Twitter, and they speak their minds, and they show people what they're doing in the community, and they are not afraid to call you out. And I absolutely love that about them. The new CBA that was put into place last year really helped, or is going to help. It's historic in so many ways, going to help with that, that different piece of marketing and exposure, and monetary benefits and those types of things. And it's crazy, right? I mean, if people watched them in the bubble last summer, there were some athletes who were in there with their kids. Are you kidding me? So you telling me I gotta go play and I gotta watch this baby?
Right. This is supposed to be a vacation. I'm a mom. This is a vacation.
A player, a Black woman, and a mama. Come on now.
Yeah.
But they do it, and they do it effortlessly, seamlessly.
They sure do.
So it's
They sure do.
At this point, you just hating. Ain't no real reason.
Man, and it really is hating. I'm like, y'all just gonna keep coming up with random ass scenarios to not like a genuine sport that has stayed true
for 25 years.
Yes, to the essence of what basketball, and yes, I said it, of what it really is about. And I'm like, yo, this is so crushing and disappointing, but it's such a beautiful experience when you go to the game and you see all the regulars and you see all your favorites. And
Amazing.
like I had a little, Sparks crew, like when I would go to the games, and back in the day, I remember writing a very strongly worded letter, angry blog to like Kathy Goodman. I don't even think she's an owner anymore, but like maybe she is, I don't know, I'm like low-key out of the loop, but I found that blog, like, long story short, I had to look for that blog, but I was like, damn, like I really was like really upset, but I was upset because there's no fans. It feels like not no fans. The stands are not filled the way they need to.
The way they
love,
should be, right?
Right. And the backing and the money, the funds, like y'all have money all day long to splurge into a terrible organization or terrible team for the NBA. Thank goodness NBA is not one of the words, but but it's just so disheartening, but it took COVID for folks to really say, okay, I'm going to watch. Yeah. And their viewership increased by like, what was it, 60%?
And I loved actually watching the men cheer them on. Like, I love seeing after their game, they're like, hey, yo, you make sure you go check out the Sparks, or, what are you doing? You can see them tweeting on their Instagram in their orange hoodies where they're, checking out the female counterpart play. And I'm just like, this is what it's about, because it's never them. It's never other athletes.
No.
That are talking shit. It's never them. You know what I mean? It's always like the old dude who maybe used to ball back in like 1997, who can't even lace up a gym shoe anymore, let alone try to like contest any of these women that are playing. And like, it's like, y'all, you can't even block a cough. And here you go.
Right. Exactly. Like, what you doing talking mess? Because every woman that is in the league will take that ass like straight to the rim.
They're there for
and I said it again.
Reason. Listen, I said it too. Is that a double drink?
I think it's a double drink. I'm gonna need to refill in a second. Oh man. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know, like it breaks my heart because they play so hard. They work hard. Yeah. And it's like, and it just feels like there's no support, but they try to do what they can and they try to make their voice known and heard. And
I'm happy to say that we are at a place where the respect for these women, the love for this sport, it is truly growing. I love to see it. Shout out to all of those who are out there covering this league. I want to just, if I can, special shout out to Chantel Lowe. And the reason why I'm giving her a special shout out is because this summer it was noticeable. She's an editor at the New York Times, and she put together that preview of the 7 of us, I think, that wrote pieces for each team. Like 5 of the 7 were Black women. It's like she's making sure that we are not only the people who are playing in the sport, not only the professionals are getting their shine, but those who are covering it, we're also getting their shine. And I appreciate her so much for that. So I just wanted to shout her out for that. That was amazing.
Nice. Shout out. Oh man. Yeah, that's so dope though. And I love seeing that evolution. But I think that was like the younger me that was just like, they bust their ass, you know what I'm saying? Like it's, yeah. But speaking of busting their ass and, being an athlete, you were also an athlete. You were a former NCAA Division II dual athlete with volleyball as well as softball at St. Augustine's University. And oh shit, it's like time. Damn.
What time is it?
I just looked at the clock by chance, by happenstance. Damn, we had so much fun, y'all.
Listen, I have so the viewers know it is like 7:40 my time. I have a meeting at 8:00 my time. However, I am not ready for this conversation to end just yet. So I got 10 more minutes before I have to go.
Okay. All right. Well, then I'm just, I'll just ask, what position did you play in softball? We'll just do that.
I was a catcher. And then when I got in college, I actually played outfield because I was not shit compared to the catcher who was on my team. I just thought I was the bomb when I got to college, and they was like, "Oh no, boo, we finna put you in left field. You will not be behind this plate." And I'm like, "Okay."
Oh man, I played softball too, Division III though.
Nice.
But
nice,
yeah, I
nice.
was a catcher and right fielder.
Okay, yeah, girl. I wanted to catch so bad, and my teammate loved her to death. She was also from Detroit. Half my team was from Detroit. Amazing, which is interesting. But they were like, "Nah, boo, you're not walking on our team taking no spots." And so I busted my butt, but I never took a spot.
Yeah.
Never took a spot.
Oh man, dang. Well, I know we have a limited time, so I'm going to ask this question because I think this is so important, especially, lifting up other fellow Black queens. When you got to ESPN and fast forward, I'm just going to abbreviate
Sure.
that journey. You wanted to be a bartender. I'm sorry. You wanted to be you majored, scratch that. You majored in poli-sci. And your goal after graduating, you wanted to go to Arizona State to go to law school, and you wanted to be a district attorney, to be the first Black female senator of Michigan. And what actually happened was you were bartending and you loved the money, and you were making and you loved the atmosphere, that Leo nature. She's a party girl in that way, and never thought that she would be working at ESPN. So as a bartender, then that's when she started her career writing a blog for La Doce La Cura, I think is how you say it. And then some random guys heard her writing and then wanted loved her stance on sports writing, and then they had her on the radio network, and then that's kind of like what started the whole domino rally effect, and the Gridiron Girl was born. And then you decided to go to grad school to get your master's in multimedia journalism. Fast forward, and then you went to be a Yahoo contributor, and then that brought you to ESPN.
Eventually, yes.
Eventually. That was the very abbreviated.
Yes, that was like a super, like you, anytime somebody asks, I'm gonna say, "Can you go holler at Jamila?" She can.
Here's my link. But I say all of that is, getting to ESPN, your fellow D-Town, Detroit and Raleigh folks spotted you, Jamil Hill. And she thought you were actually there for a tour, but you explained to her that you were new on the block and now working at ESPN, and that you were also new to Connecticut. And she took you under her wing and showed you around. What did that mean to you for not only another Black journalist embracing you with open arms, but the one and only Jamil Hill?
I have no words because that's like, when I saw her, so when you get to ESPN and you first started working there, you get this thing called rookie camp, right? Instead of like orientation, they call it rookie camp, the sports thing. So they show you all the buildings and they take you to like, everywhere. So even if it's stuff that you're not gonna be doing, like I'm in the TV studio, I'm not here for TV. Ain't no way I need to be over here, but y'all gonna show me this shit anyway, so fine. So I'm in the TV studio and I see her and I'm like, I know that's Jamil. Like I ain't seen her since we were talking about the Lions in the basement like a long time ago. Like it's a long time ago. So I'm like, she's not even gonna remember me. And I see her and I'm like, Jamil, do you remember me? She's like, girl, yeah, I remember you. Where you, like, how you been? And it was great. And she was just like, you know what, listen, I know all of the spots to get food, all of the spots to do hair, all of the spots for all of this. And so as someone who had literally only been in this state for like 3 days, I knew no one. Outside my husband who was here with me, I knew no one. I knew nowhere to go, like nothing. So it felt good to have not only a familiar face, but this is what makes Jamil so awesome. She never switches, right? Like she's not one who has, acquired notoriety and has all of a sudden forgotten who she are. No, like Jamil is one of the realest, one of the best you'll ever meet and ever know. And she still kept it a buck with me, even, through everything. And I will always appreciate her for that. And so it felt great. It felt great to have someone like that. She ride for me, if there was a project that I wanted, if there was something that I needed to do, if there was something that, I wanted my name thrown in the hat for, she had no hesitation to be like, y'all should consider Terrika. because she's dope for this, you know? And so that kind of thing is just invaluable, right? You don't get that in everybody. And so I'll forever be grateful to her for that. And even to this day, she's still my girl, love her to death. She's doing amazing things. I'm proud of her. I'm proud to say she's from the D. She's from the West Side though, but she's from the West Side though, but but even still, she's amazing. And she's resilient. All of that stuff that she went through, for her to come out of it on top, laughing like I told y'all, resilient. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. You know, and she get haters too all the time. So. You know, she just, she do with her haters. We cuss haters out on Twitter. What does she do with her haters? She decides to get a sports show on Vice, and she got all type of crazy. Like Jamil just shits on her haters all the time. Like,
hey, that's the only way to treat a hater. Just shit on them.
Do it, right? It's so motivating. You just shit on her haters. I love
it. That's so dope. I mean, we gonna have to do a part 2 because this is just I'm just like, man, we just had so much fun. Time just flew by, and this has been a blast. This has been awesome. Listen, anytime you have spare time, we gonna do a part 2. Just let me know. Just shoot me a text because this went insanely fast. Like I'm still looking at the clock. There's no way. Like you must have. Somebody's playing a trick on my clock.
I know, right? I wish I didn't have to be out, but it's okay. That just shows my character, guys. Everybody watching, I made a commitment to do something, and I'm gonna honor it, even if I might not want to. I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you spending time with us, and enjoying some of the shenanigans and the a little bit of the fuckery that we do over here.
For sure.
But before we get out of here, normally we end each episode with a words of wisdom. Okay. What would be your words of wisdom?
I always, I have over the last couple of years wanted to just tell people to just remain authentic to who you are. Just in this business and in any business, I would assume that most people have been in, they feel like sometimes there are moments where you feel like you have to, be super cognizant of what you say, super cognizant of how you look, super, you know what I mean? You always have to be, I can't wear my hair like this, or I can't wear that, or I shouldn't say this kind of thing. And over the last couple of years, I have found a spirit that has just been like, fuck that. I'm gonna just say what I want to say and wear what I want to wear and do what I want to do. And obviously I have integrity and I have ethics, and my mama raised me right. So I'm not gonna, go all off the deep end. But essentially what I'm trying to say is stay true to who you are. You don't have to flip or switch to make anybody happy other than you. So my words of wisdom would just be remain authentic and true to who you are. And I promise you'll wake up every day with a clear mind and a clear heart than you ever will trying to be something that you're not.
Yeah, I dig that. Y'all, just a little fun fact, how true she is to that word. She's from Detroit, but she's a Colts fan.
I am.
Boom!
Boom! What's your Lions fans come for me?
Stay true to who you are. Don't let anybody push you differently. Stay true to who you are. I love that. Oh, I love that. I appreciate you taking the time, and this has been a blast. And thank you for doing everything that you're doing for women's basketball. I'm gonna drink my drink to that. My little drink. Thank you for everything that you and LaChina and all of the other amazing women and folks that are out there that are supporting, because it really is a movement of, trying to progress, in so many different ways. But I appreciate it. I'm going to let you get to your thing. Listen, I'm like, hit me up after your meeting.
Okay,
let's do the part 2 tonight.
Listen, I'm a sorority girl, y'all, and I have to get to my sorority meeting. So that's it. It's all good. I
appreciate it. And before we get out of here, is there anything that we can expect from Tea Take 2 for season 2?
I am excited. I'm working on season 2, guys. We are putting it together. We're looking to launch in February. So if you have an opportunity to check out my YouTube page, check out my YouTube page. And if you want to follow me on social media, I'm at @SheKnowsSports_ on everything. So hit me up. I talk back. I follow back. I do all that stuff.
Hey, she might even shit on you if you a hater though.
Don't be hating.
Hey, don't be coming with them negative vibes. You better come with positivity only.
Don't do it.
I appreciate it. All of her information will be in the show notes if you would like to keep in touch and get in touch with her. Again, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. This has been awesome. This has been a blast. I don't even want to let you go to your meeting, but I'm gonna let you go. But thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. See you later.
Thank you. Bye.
Real life and no TV. Millionaires stay greedy. No love and there's no grub. We got the homeless saying, y'all better come my way. Y'all better come my way. Okay, and say, y'all better come my way. I'ma make a statement day by day. Y'all better come my way. Y'all better come my way. Okay, and say, y'all better come my way. I'ma make a statement day by day. Peace out, up.